Hello and welcome back to WrestleCrack. I'm Nicky Michelini, aka Mitch Betts, aka the Italian Rapscallion. Today I'm just going to be talking about the last couple of weeks of Raw, where it seems to be going into Fastlane, and beyond that, pretty much it. So, like the video, subscribe to the video, and don't forget to comment below. And if there's any comments, I'll comment back, and we'll go from there. So I'll just go through a couple of wrestlers and what's been happening in the last few weeks and touch on that. The first one I want to talk about is Ambrose. I think they've done a really good job the last few weeks of building him up, building his character up, showing how gritty, determined he is, focused on the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that's done him massive favours. I think his stuff for Lesnar last week was really good. I would have pushed it a bit further, and I know that he was like egging Lesnar on to get back in the ring and do it again. I think they should have done that 3 or 4 times just to build up that he would never give up and build on that a bit more. But I did enjoy what they've done with it last week and build on it this week. And dropping the IC title's perfect as well. It gets the shackles of the IC title off him and could propel him to the main event or closer to the main event than he would be if he just had the IC title. That's it for Ambrose. The IC titles obviously went to Owens. It was a good 5-way match on Raw. I do think Owens should be just too big for the IC title. The lack of stars they've got at the minute, I think. The lack of stars they've got at the minute, the IC title should be brought down a level so that the people who are above the IC title look like more main eventers because they haven't got the main eventers there, like your Ortons and Cenas and all them type of people there. So personally, I was hoping Breeze or Stardust, someone like that, was going to win the IC title, or Ziggler would have been perfect, would have been ideal. He could be he's the top of that. What's the word? Like that class of wrestlers. I think your Stardust, your Breezes, your whoever else is on the card. I think Ziggler's the best of that, and I would have Ziggler as the IC champion. Hopefully, he gets it off Owens at Fastlane. And frees it Owens for a big money feud at Mania. I'm hoping it's going to be the Undertaker. If Owens drops the title at Fastlane, then maybe that frees up Owens, like I say, and you can interrupt Undertaker on next week on Raw. I think that the Vincent Kennedy McMahon, or Vincent whatever McMahon award thing that we mentioned on Raw, I think that's going to be the Undertaker. And I think whoever interrupts that, which they will inevitably do, will go to a feud with the Undertaker, and I can't see anybody else viable. The League of Nations have been damaged too much and they don't look strong enough to go against the Undertaker at the minute. Obviously, Owens is who I'm hoping it's going to be. The other heels on the card, you've got Lesnar and Wyatt, both feuding with the Undertaker to death, so hopefully it's not going to be for them. But we'll wait and see what happens with that award next week, and we'll see what happens at Fastlane going forward with all that. So to touch on the Dudleys turning heel, that was a good thing. It opens up the door for a couple of new feuds for them. And to see them going up against Usos, maybe at Mania, maybe in the pre-show, maybe they'll have a multi-tag team match, but that feud will continue there. I think it's fresh for them to be heels. I know they've been treading on the New Day's toes a little bit with them being the 2 top tag teams of both being heels, but it does give them a chance to work with Usos, have a feud with them, the Social Outcasts. Well, I don't know if they're heels or faces, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but they're doing well, they're coming along nicely, so that's looking for the tag team division's looking alright. What they're doing with Goldust and Truth, I'm not a big fan of the skits and all that backstage, but if they're going to establish them as a team, and more tag teams are better for me. I would like to see some of the NXT tag teams come up as well, but we'll see what happens with that. The Divas are doing really well at the minute. 3 segments on Raw this week, 2 matches at the pay-per-view. It's looking really, really good going to WrestleMania. Hopefully they do have the Sasha Charlotte match at Mania. If they put Becky Lynch into that, I think it's going to take away from the big money match feel of it. If it's a 3-way rather than a singles match, and a lot of people just prefer, me included, one-on-one matches at Mania. So hopefully that's what Sasha and Charlotte is. We'll see what happens with that. The Wyatts, we'll talk about their feud a little bit. I'm not a big fan of this take on the Titans crap with Mariah back and Kane and Big Show. I don't want to see Kane. I don't want to see Big Show. It's just a bit of a blow, bit of a waste of time for me. It gives Ryback a bit of a credibility boost, I suppose, and it takes people off the getting on his back about looking like Goldberg with his new trunks. So maybe it's a good thing for that. Apart from that, not interested in it. I'd rather see the Wyatts focus all the attention on Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt's feud with him and something else rather than what they're doing at the minute. You can go for the tag titles of Harper and Rowan maybe. There's something else that's not what they're doing at the minute, so I'm not a big fan of it. I see they're going to have the 3-on-3 at Fastlane, so I'm glad that rules it. That sort of rules it out for Mania. I hope they don't have a 4-on-4 and invite Wyatt and Lesnar or Taker or someone else into that in a 4-on-4 situation for Mania. That would just be shit for me. If Kane and Undertaker can beat all 3 or 4 of them, however many it was, at Survivor Series, they don't need to redo that with the Undertaker and Lesnar. You're sort of substituting the Undertaker for Big Show and Ryback and somebody else if you're having a 4-on-4, which doesn't make sense at all. So hopefully at Fastlane that's all blew off and Wyatt can face Lesnar and that would be their feud and the others can just be in the background and do something else. What else? AJ Styles and Jericho feud's been going well. I like how it's flipping between Raw and SmackDown. It gives a old school feel where SmackDown did mean something in the 2000-2001 where feuds started on Raw, continued on SmackDown and went like that. That's what the feud feels like to me. It feels like a throwback and it's making people watch SmackDown at the minute. I'm enjoying SmackDown more than I am Raw. Maybe it's the advert breaks, maybe it's just because it's not 3 hours, whatever it is, I'm enjoying SmackDown a lot more than I'm enjoying Raw at the minute, which is the first. This week's SmackDown hardly had anybody on it. It was bookended by the AJ and Jericho thing, which I think was perfect. When I read the lineup and heard Ambrose wasn't there, Reigns wasn't there, and Wyatt I don't think was there. All these people weren't there. I thought how they're going to do the show, so I was quite intrigued to see it. They've done it perfect, like I say, with AJ and Jericho starting and finishing the show and everything in between worked really well. So I'm really enjoying their feud. I think The Miz is out of it now. I think it's just going to be them two going head to head, and The Miz was a nice buffer for them to sort of bring the story along. Hopefully it gets blown off at Fastlane and then they both go on to separate feuds for Mania, but we'll see what happens with that. What else is there? I touched on the League of Nations before. I do think they were wasted. I think Rusev, Sheamus, Del Rio, maybe a push. These all could be having big money feuds at Mania if they had, when they put them together in November, December, they had pushed the faction. These 3 could be 3 big heels going into Mania, but they haven't done that. It's just a waste of talent for me, and a bit of a waste of just the faction. It's a bit shit, really. But see what happens. They might dominate Fastlane, so it might happen from there. But I think it's a little too late for me. I want to touch on the Titus thing getting suspended. It seems a bit. I know it seems odd, but for me, I can't shake off the feeling that it's work. They wanted to push Titus to this next level, and the fans weren't getting behind him. I know he does charity work and all this crap, but the fans aren't really bothered about that. They just want to see someone who's intriguing and all this sort of stuff. So that suspending him for that gives him a bit more credibility and the fans may get behind him. It just feels like a work to me, and that's what my feelings on that. Maybe he's suspended till Mania, he comes out, wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and he works like an anti-authority type of angle. I don't know, but it just feels like a work to me. But we'll see what happens with that. He could just come back and get jobbed out. I don't know. I want to touch on the main event this week. Braun Strowman Big Show for a main event 2016. It's not a main event. It's just, I wouldn't, if that was on the middle of the card, I would fast forward it. Didn't watch it. Just fast forwarded through it, see what the angle was at the end. Could have predicted what it was going to be with Ryback and Kane. I can sort of see why it went on last, because they were bringing Kane back in, but he'd only been gone for 2 weeks or something, and Big Show was obviously on Austin's podcast, but it just didn't work for a main event for me. Possibly one of the worst main events I've seen for a while. I'm going to do a special episode after this, talking about Daniel Bryan, going through it all. I didn't want to just try and throw a little mention in there. I want to give it a full big send-off from myself, so I'm going to do another episode about that. Coming up next, so I'll talk about my wrestler of the week. The last couple of weeks I haven't done a Raw review. My wrestlers for the last couple of weeks are the Dudleys. The promo this week on Raw, turning heel last week. The promo on SmackDown, rejuvenising the tag team division. Not like it didn't really need it with New Day and I like Usos as well, but it is giving it that depth that it's going to benefit it. So they're wrestlers of the week. And the match to go back, the match to watch and go back of the week is going to be the top of my head, something I'm going to be watching. I'm going through a few WrestleMania main events and watching them, so I'm going to go back and watch the Goldberg versus Lesnar, Austin as a referee from WrestleMania, I think it's 20, just to see the crowd's reaction on it, because I've got a feeling that if they do go with Reigns and Hunter this year for the Mania main event, it's going to be a similar feel, so I'm going to go back and watch that, so I suggest you do the same. Don't forget to like the video and comment below. That's pretty much it. I'll see you down the road. Ta-da!